there, folks, and welcome back to Game Buzz, the weekly news podcast from us here at dealspone.com. There's just two of us today. I'm Matt Garden, I'm joined by Jonathan Lester.
What's it, gorgeous?
How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good, actually, as it happens. Missing Carl a bit.
I know, I miss Carl too. He's off gallivanting somewhere, doing something.
Gallivanting.
Gallivanting.
That sounds mysterious.
I like the word gallivanting. It's, I don't know, sort of conjures up.
We should bring it back.
Yeah, visions of knights. In my mind, he's actually living Dark Souls because he loves it so much, but probably not dying over and over again. That's reincarnation. Only Jesus can do that, and select.
Yeah, like Mario.
Mario and Super Boy. So there's that. Games.
Oh
right.
Yeah, we should probably talk about those.
There are some. There's been a little bit of news. Yeah, it's been that sort of time of the year when everyone's filing their financial reports and doing things like that. And some we don't like to dwell too much on figures and such like. We leave that to sites like MCV. But there were a few interesting things to come out of these reports. Not least that, in broad terms, PlayStation is outselling Xbox 3-1, or was at least between April and June, which that's an issue for Microsoft.
It certainly is an issue. In fact, the really fun thing this month is that we've been able to sort of put the big three into order. Because right down the bottom, we got Nintendo. They sold a reasonable number of Wii U's this month, about 580k if I remember rightly.
I thought you just were going to say 580.
Good.
I was like
580.
Yeah, but I was one of them.
Exactly.
I didn't get it new.
Look at you parasite, not contributing to the lovely digital future, Matt. But Microsoft apparently sold 1 million. Roughly 1.1 million Xbox 360s and Xbox Ones during the quarter, and that's quite a big number. 1 million is quite a big number, although that is shipped to retailers as opposed necessarily to sold through to customers. But Sony came out and just sort of slapped us round the face with its big black console and said, "Look, we've sold 3.5 million PS3s and PS4s this quarter. And let's face it, probably at least half, if not more of those are going to be PS4s, right?"
Yeah, they've just been doing a really, really good job.
Yeah, they have, and they've been doing it despite a kind of really slow release slate as well.
Yeah, this is the thing. We've said constantly since both consoles launched that in terms of exclusives, at least in terms of those console exclusives, Microsoft has definitely had the edge over Sony.
Yeah, man, Nintendo definitely have. You're right. You're absolutely. Microsoft. Between the two, yeah, absolutely. In terms of this issue, Microsoft has it locked down. I mean, they've got a bigger variety of bigger, more exciting AAA console exclusives. That said, Sony have been doing a huge amount right, and they've absolutely deserved this. They've been working really hard at this ever since even before, the console was released and the run up to launch. They were totally clear about what the console was. They came in at an attractive price point and just told everyone that it was a games machine for gamers to play gamey games on. And we like that. That's kind of what we want. And their indie push has been great. There's a huge breadth of software on there. And of course, third parties love it because it's got a massive install base.
You look at the PS3 when it launched, and it was oversized, it was overpriced, it was really a little bit fiddly to develop for, and Sony clearly looked at that. We said this back when the PlayStation 4 was sort of unveiled. They've really looked at that and learned from that and gone, right, okay, this is for the gamers. The hashtag was for the players. They know who they've been targeting this towards the entire time, and the message has been clear. For the players, but also for the developers too. And they've made the PlayStation 4 it's a big console in terms of power, performance, and most of all, ease of access. Whether you're a consumer in terms of the price point, or a developer in terms of getting onto that system, or an indie developer, they've been massive in terms of their sort of developmental outreach, and that's really paid dividends in kind of conjuring the perception. And do you know what? It doesn't really matter if it's the reality. It probably is the reality. It doesn't really matter if it's the reality. But the perception that basically everything's better on PS4, and in in sort of this early period where there haven't been a huge number of console releases, that has been absolutely crucial for multi-platform games, because people are looking at it and just going, oh yeah, I'm really up for Watch Dogs, but I think it runs better on PS4, so yeah, I think I probably better get that.
And you know what else? Like the Xbox One is just still too expensive. I'm
Yeah.
putting it out there. Like the Microsoft has to do a few things to like start closing this gap. New Halo's going to help, but I mean, you were super excited about New Halo, but you've gone and bought a freaking Wii U now. Like, even Nintendo are sort of poaching you away from the sort of big Microsoft exclusives that historically you've tended to like consume greedily and angrily,
Well, I think like you you
pratily.
you mentioned like Nintendo obviously have the best exclusives, kind of as a sidebar just there, like a few minutes ago. But it's true, like, and
Yeah, they do.
it was basically just stacking them up. But of course they've had 18 months, right? So like you'd expect them to have more out right now. But yeah, it just built up to a point where it's like a tipping point, and then I think Mario Kart plus that
You
extra
had to
game,
have it. You had to have it. You had to have the Mario
that
Kart
was
8. You
that
had
was
to
that
have
was the
the
deal, right? Like I had
exactly.
to do it before July
But
31st.
more than that, I mean, you could have just bought the game and registered it on your Club Nintendo. You didn't need to buy the console. But you've also needed like Wind Waker HD.
Oh my god.
Like you've got
Oh
to have
my.
that
Can we
shit.
talk for a
You've
minute
got to
about
have
how
Pikmin
pretty
3.
that is?
You've got to have the thing. Yeah, we can talk about that actually.
Because
Let's
that
talk about
game
that. It's
that
great,
game
isn't it?
that
But
game is so
the thing is, it's
pretty.
not like thing is the original game was very pretty, and all this has done is kind of just increase the aspect ratio a bit.
And
Like,
made it a little
well,
bit
a lot.
sharper. And
Yeah, they've rounded off and sanded down and then crisped up a few of the. It does. Obviously, it's going to look a lot better than if you were just running the like original
yeah.
GameCube version. But yeah, it's a super great game. It just reminds me of how super not very well Ocarina of Time holds up these days.
Um, I like.
Mm,
Do you know what? It's still probably, because that's the thing. Like we talk about favorite games of all time, and like that is up there for me because I remember playing it for the first time. I remember how I felt exploring it. I remember my
yeah, man.
sister basically,
Yeah,
my
Wind
sister
Waker shit, man.
badgering me. No, I'm talking about Ocarina. Like my
Oh,
sister
you forgot.
badgering me to be like, play it so I can watch it. 'Cause she
Yeah,
never
you
did.
see, but I was, and I agree with you. It was like super great at the time. Like I was actually more the watcher more often than the player. Like someone had it, and we were all like, we had to like have a big brain trust around because some of the puzzles are so fucking obtuse that you needed like a brain trust of people to then be able to go out into the playground and try and find someone with a strategy guide or at least have completed that bit before. And the water temple. But I don't know, man. I loved it at the time.
The
But like, I
temple.
gotta be honest, these days I've played through so many Zelda games within the last couple of years, in the last 3 years. I don't know if now, like, because I played through Ocarina again on 3DS, and in fact, I didn't. That's actually kind of a lie. I didn't even get halfway through. I just got bored. It's just a load of empty space.
You
It's
see,
just
well, the thing is, I sort of agree with you there, but I was still loving it right up until fucking
what a temp,
December.
bitch.
Just
Man,
that
but
man,
I'll tell you what.
man,
I mean,
that's
I'm not
such a
even sure.
bad level.
I know, and they fixed it. They've improved it in the 3DS version. But
I
even
know,
still,
but it's
like,
still dreadful.
I know. The thing is, I think I'm just still a bit of a sucker. I'm a sucker for the 2D Zeldas, and I'm more of a sucker for the 3D Zeldas that like innovate with like what's going on. Especially, I love like A Link Between Worlds that came out recently. Like, I love that. I love Minish Cap. Like, I didn't hugely adore Twilight Princess, but I liked a few of the mechanics that it had. But yeah,
I
man,
really
like,
liked. Do you know what I really liked about? I really liked that it tried something quite different.
yeah, exactly. I like the fact that it was a 3D Zelda that was like, hey, let's do something different with it a little bit, add in some cool new mechanics and that sort of disc thing that would take you up walls and stuff. I like that.
And it looked badass. I mean,
Oh, it did. Yeah, the art
it
was
felt
awesome.
really epic. It felt.
Yeah.
'Cause the thing is, like, I think I was there with everyone who was a little bit wary about Wind Waker before it came out. When, you saw the art style, I was like, am I going to get the real sense of the epic that I got with kind of like Ocarina and Majora's Mask? Because
Oh
of
yeah, man, Majora's Mask was really creepy.
yeah. But then like Wind Waker comes out and it
always
turns
forget
into the
about that
best
one.
Saturday morning cartoon game you've ever played, ever.
Yeah,
And
it's sweet,
it's
and
just
it is sweet,
and it is sweet.
and the gamepad integration's great,
It's
and
so good. I just wish I could
even Tingles,
invert.
in there. Wait, you kind of what? Oh, you've just got to. This is your opportunity now to just get used to like the way. Like I hate to use the word normal, and I hate to because that could be construed as being a discriminatory remark. But on the other hand, you're a freak. You need to
I
sort.
blame. The thing is, no, there was a time when inverted was the norm. When like people.
When you were playing flight sims, yeah, and only within flight sims. Am I
Nah,
right?
nah.
Yeah,
There was
mate.
a time when there were more inverted
Yes.
people than normal people. Wait, that doesn't
Yeah.
sound.
I don't know. It's like you're talking about. I remember those days when we were all upside down and walking around on the ceiling with our pants on our heads and our shoes on our ears, and it was wonderful.
I
Those were
loved
the
those
days.
days.
Those crazy inverted days, man. You used to have a bit of a head rush all the time. It was difficult to get anything done. But man, oh, these newfangled controllers now, these new kids, these new console kids, man, they don't know they're born.
All I want is
It's
the
cloud,
option.
yeah, man. Yeah, they should give the option. It should be up there with like optional subtitles. You know,
Yeah.
it should be. It's an access thing. But yeah, I mean, okay, so like actually, just out of interest, we've been talking about Zelda now for like what, 10 minutes, about 2 hours, like
I don't really think that's
quite
a
a long
problem.
time. But
Zelda's
that's
amazing.
never a problem. So like, what's your like favorite Zelda game, dude?
Um,
Is it still Ocarina?
do you know what I think? It changes. I think it's
Yeah, I
often
know,
whichever the last Zelda game I
yeah,
play.
exactly, or whichever one I'm currently playing.
Yeah.
Because I'm exactly the same. Because if you'd have asked me like 2 years ago, if you'd asked me like years and years ago, I'd have said it was Ocarina. But if you asked me when I was playing through Ocarina on the 3DS, I'd have said all the others, like Four Swords even. Like I'd really like Four Swords actually. Man, that was a really good spin-off. Everything but Crossbow Trainer actually was solid gold in that series. But I don't know. Right now, I still think my favourite's kind of I want to say Minish Cap, maybe. I don't know. I just really like the Kinstones thing. I really like the way you'd make friendships with people and it would change the world. I thought that was kind of cool.
Zelda is cool, man.
Zelda is awesome. I really can't wait for the open world one actually. Like this
Yeah.
Wii U one. I think it'll go back to like the really early like 2D philosophy and like a big 3D world. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think as well, like I think that also tied into why I got a Wii U. I mean, I know, like I often say that like E3 is obviously a speculative event, and I don't necessarily think that it always ties into immediate purchasing decisions. But when you do buy a console, it is an investment. You're trusting in the platform holder to secure awesome games and make awesome games. And I really like the look of Nintendo's setup. And it was such a good show by them. And yeah, Zelda Open World is going to be so rad. As long as and we said this at the time, like they got to fill it with awesome stuff. Because the thing about Ocarina was we hadn't really had enormous worlds before, and so it was just quite nice to have one of them. And do you know
Yeah,
what?
but
Like
they've got to make
I
sure
liked riding across Hyrule Field. Like it became infinitely less
so boring.
trudgy
It just there's nothing
once you
there
got
until
Epona.
until nighttime comes around and it's like, oh, now it's a slog and now there's lots of identical enemies turning up to impede me. But I don't know, man. Like I feel like if they took like Link Between Worlds or like Link to the Past even, and they looked at that and said pretty much on every screen there's something hidden or cool to do, like and just fill the place. Look at even something like Skyrim and say we got to fill this world with loads of really awesome, detailed, optional stuff to do, as well as like the other extra like story missions and dungeons and
You
stuff.
know what is going to be what is going to feature a large open spaces and also filled with faceless drones. It's going to be Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, man. But why are you serious? Wide open space. Have you ever played a Dynasty Warriors game? They're like you're like raiding big. I mean, they can be quite big, but you're raiding cubes next to other cubes with
Yeah,
little
it's like you got to
between.
defeat the garrison leader to open this gate, which
Yeah,
takes
defeat that guy.
5 minutes to load.
Oh no, your guy's been defeated. Go, they've taken. You gotta run over there. So you know what? I'm still going to buy it. But
Yeah,
so
do you
long
know
before
what? Like
Omega Force, so long
the little art style on that game looks really.
yeah, but
That's
remember,
kind
this
of
is Omega Force.
enough.
This is Omega Force, dude. Omega Force, they were in charge of like freaking Ken's Rage too.
That's your favorite
So,
game, though. You love that game.
oh, don't even. That game is that game is atrocious. That game. They took a game about a guy who could punch things. The whole premise of the game was a dude could punch things so hard they explode, and they somehow made a bad game out of that. How can you make a bad game out of that? Anyway, look. Let's get slightly back on topic. Nintendo Wii U still not selling very well. It'll be interesting to see like the next quarter and see if like Super Smash Brothers can really start selling that thing, especially since, they've delayed Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Boo. Um but like
I was really looking
what
forward to that.
I know you were, but like let's move this on, man. We've done Nintendo. Man, I think we should do a whole podcast on Zelda at some point. I'd love to do that shit. Let's
That
get
would be
Carl in
awesome.
as well, and anyone else who wants to join us. I'd love to do that. Let's do that as a community question at some point. That'd be wicked.
Would be good.
Let's talk some Zelda. Anyway, but like, okay, Microsoft 3-1. What can they do to improve their market position and sell more consoles? I have an idea. Like the biggest problem I feel right now with the Xbox is that it's the most like it's one of it's weird, but I don't think there's ever been a time in gaming history before when the less powerful console is also the most expensive.
No.
That has never happened before. In every generation, that's why we always say, "Oh, specs don't matter," because you look back, and the most powerful, beefy console also tends to be the priciest. So people don't buy it as much. Install base isn't as big. It doesn't get the software support, and it doesn't do as well. And we've tended to see a console with less impressive specs do better, and yet the PS4 is the strongest machine in terms of just being a raw, in terms of just raw horsepower, but it's also kind of cheap as well. And that's never happened before. So basically, like Microsoft has got to undercut that now.
Yeah, you look at the Xbox One and because their messaging because their communication has been so garbled, so muddled, so all over the place, it's difficult to tell exactly what the Xbox One is. It doesn't really have an identity. Like you look at the PS4 and it's like gaming. This is what this is
Gaming
all
games
about.
for
Like
you gamers.
it's so focused on gaming, it can't even play MP3s.
Yeah,
That's
man.
how focused on gaming is.
I thought
But
it
you
was
know what?
focused on like on like sharing. I thought it was share. It
Sorry,
was
not MP3
sharing.
CDs, but
Yay.
also MP3s. I don't know,
Maybe
but yeah, it
yeah.
struggles. But that's the thing. I have a PS4 and I don't care at all because I get to play awesome games on it that look really great and third
Yeah,
party
man.
games
Well,
are really great on it.
I've got an Xbox One, and I can, if I want to, randomly, for some ridiculous reason, decide to plug my Skybox into my Xbox One and have two devices on at the same time and not able to watch my TV unless I've also switched my Xbox One on.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a selling point. So here's the thing, Microsoft. The thing is, it's really cool. The TV throughput stuff and the HDMI throughput stuff is really cool when you have Kinect. Because what Kinect can do, it can act as an IR blaster, so it can control all the rest of your stuff, all the rest of your like AV equipment, and it can, browse through the listings using your voice. That's kind of great. But now Connect is optional, and people are now buying Xbox One without Connect. Even people are selling their Connect to like CEX for about 20 quid. And without it, the HDMI throughput is pointless because you can't run another console through it because there's between sort of half a second to even a second of controller lag, rendering that completely pointless. There's no point running your TV through it because without the ability for the Xbox One to turn on your television and control your TV with voice, with the power of your voice, I mean, what's the point? There is no point. So what Microsoft needs to do is I feel like they took off the wrong thing. They looked at the Xbox One and they ripped out the wrong bit. They should have kept Connect in, or at least brought out a version of it that was a bit cheaper and maybe didn't have any gestures, maybe just a microphone, maybe just more smart glass, maybe just smart glass, and then took out that HDMI throughput And here's the thing: make it smaller and release it at less than the PS4.
Yeah, I just think you look at the Xbox One, and there are a host of features on there that are really cool, that I know are really cool. But at the end of the day, do you know what?
What?
If you knock some money off of it and remove all those things and just make it, a games console that I can play all of your awesome exclusives on Microsoft, I'll buy one because that'll be good. That'll be really awesome.
Yeah, and it's bizarre
Undercut the
because you've
PS4 as
been
yeah.
you've had an Xbox 360 throughout the last generation. You've had both consoles, but we've played a huge bunch of games on Xbox 360. It tends to be our like multiplayer console of choice throughout the last gen. And you love the Halo. And then this year, you bought a Wii U, man. And you're like probably not going to buy an Xbox One now.
Well, yeah. I mean,
So
I
yeah,
was so psyched coming out of E3 for the Halo Master Chief Collection. I still might buy one for that because I am a massive Halo fanboy.
yeah, but
But
you
also,
already own those games though. You
I
actually own them.
do, and also
Yeah,
Destiny.
yeah. So
Sort of what Bungie, sort of
Sunset
the end
Overdrive,
point
dude.
for Bungie's Halo. Yeah.
It's cool, but it's cool. It's cool. I mean, we'll be like, I'll be destinying. I'll be like, it is my destiny for me, and like, I don't know. I might lead the Dills Pone like Xbox Destiny clan.
My Little Deals Pony
My little Dills
on
Pony. I
Xbox
might.
One.
Hell yeah. Although that said, I was taking my week of holiday during like the exact time of the beta, so I'm actually the least experienced out of everyone. I might actually have to be cabin boy, whipping boy,
You'll love it.
whipping cabin boy. Either way, I like Halo, and it's Halo again,
No one's
so
gonna whip you.
I'm up for it.
Don't.
Well, I'm out.
That's not how we do.
let's not rule anything out at this early
Let's
stage.
definitely rule that out.
Let's not though. Let's not rule anything out. But yeah, for me, Microsoft had just got to release a cheaper like a cheaper SKU. Like maybe they could call it something different, like the Xbox Alpha.
Xbox Prime.
Do you know what? I was even going to suggest something else, but I can't beat that. Obviously, Xbox Prime,
Although you think the
because the
Xbox
Xbox
Prime would
One,
be
it's got to be the next
would be a
prime number.
transforming beast.
Yeah, but
Oh
they say it
man.
was like a prime number or something,
Yeah.
wouldn't they? And they'd say rather than Xbox One, it's an all-in-one device. Xbox One, it's got games. Like that needs to be its slogan. Just
Yeah.
Phil
Instead of
Spencer just
instead of
crying.
all in
It's
one
Phil Spencer
input one.
going, "I have a family to feed." Like that. Like
I
there are
agree with you.
games on this. There are games.
I think it's the ultimate endpoint. I don't think Spencer can complete his full revamp until there is a much more focused SKU on the market. And like I say that as someone who wants to buy an Xbox One. I'm saying that purely for selfish reasons. Just give me a stripped down, slim, awesome Xbox One, Microsoft, please.
It'd be so easy.
That'd be great. Do it in time for
It should
Christmas.
be so easy. Yeah, I mean, like
I'd buy it with Halo. Like, that'd be
exactly,
sweet.
exactly, and that would be fine.
Announce it at Gamescom.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It won't happen, but
I know.
but I'd love it.
Yeah, it would. I
Uh,
love that.
so yeah,
So yeah, there you go. Lots of figures and financial.
Sony 3, Microsoft
So,
1, blah, blah, blah,
ah,
blah, blah.
ah. But that's kind of annoying because I have an Xbox One. I don't have PS4, and yeah,
That just made me want to watch Eurotrip again. It's reminded
it just yeah, I know. It just made me want to just play more Wii U.
a little bit, yeah,
Really want to play some Zelda now.
yeah, right.
But I suppose we could like briefly touch upon the second biggest news story of the week. I guess
Probably should.
we go like well, I mean, maybe the third biggest news story of the week. The second biggest news story of the week was that someone's trying to kickstart a now let's be very clear about this and be very professional about this. A vagina mounted pelvic floor powered gaming peripheral that actually I'm not sure I want to give any more coverage to actually.
Robo dildo.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's a legit thing. It's legit. It's strengthening. It makes your pelvic floor stronger, and it's gonna help you.
Do you know what it looks like?
Like,
It
what's it
looks
look
like
like,
a
Matt?
shoehorn for your vagina. That's what it looks like. It looks like a kind of like a futuristic shoehorn.
And you can kickstart it right now. But to be honest, I mean, this thing is only getting coverage because it makes just a super great headline. It's
I
like
just
the link bait. It's
uh,
basically it's like a pelvic floor stimulating link bait machine. So I don't really want to give it. I don't feel it deserves any more coverage. Hugely.
no.
Because like loads of other Kickstarter games probably deserve more, and like actually just deserving crowdfunded stuff,
We
probably.
could try and
Like Shaq
work a
Fu, what?
weird. We could try and work a weird sort of access segue in, but I don't really.
Yeah,
That
let's talk about
that
work stuff into
that could
anything.
get crude, and I don't really want to do that. Let's just
No,
let's
because
just. I'm just gonna
that's it.
jump awkwardly onto the third biggest story of the week.
Yep.
Subscriptions, EA Access, EA are coming out. Well, they've come out already. It's you can sign up for it on Xbox One
I
right
actually, yeah,
now.
I'm in it. I'm actually in it. I'm on it.
Yeah,
I'm around it. I'm using it currently.
4 games,
Um,
$3.99 a month.
yes, it's. Do you know what? I mean, there's been loads of like talk this week about, oh, it's a bad thing. Oh, it's a great thing. It's just it's a good thing. It's a good idea. Like it works. You pay 3.99 and for a month you can play for slightly old but pretty good if you like that sort of thing games. I don't have Battlefield 4 on there and now I do. So I can play if I didn't want to play it on like PC where Battlefield games are supposed to be played because Battlefield's a PC game because it is. Like if I wanted to play it on a console, then I can. I'm doing it. It's a good idea. They just need to prove that they can get the games out and need to like I don't really get a lot of the comparisons between EA Access and PS Now. Like lots of people are comparing those two services, and like PS Now is like a streaming service and can deliver it to like your Vita and other like and tablets and stuff.
Oh, I think the
But
point. I think
but
the point.
PS Plus,
It's,
but
it's more
compared to
PS
yeah,
Plus, and I think
I've
I
seen a
think
lot of people making very specious accusations, like
but the
comparisons
PlayStation
across
Now
the internet about
comparison is more
it's more
is
the
more due to the
pricing.
fact that Sony turned around and went access revoked,
Yeah,
access denied.
the existed.
Um,
I now pay like $50 for
yeah, that's
like
I think
90
I think it's
days.
more of like Sony. What do you deem value to be? Because EA's looks pretty good value. I mean that yearly price of just
And
like 20 quid, and
the
then you
thing
look
is
at PlayStation Now, it's not
no, I mean the fact is
its
EA, it's
value
just like
proposition is toilet.
they're giving you a bunch of free games that are quite old, but if you don't have them, you can subscribe for a month and play them. And a month, that's quite a lot of time. Like 3.99, like forget an annual subscription. I'm not really sure if that represents good value yet. But if a game comes up that you like, then pay 3.99 and you'll probably complete it in a month. Or you'll probably have played enough of it to feel like you've got your money's worth in a month because it's only 3.99. It's a great idea. I just can't. Little part of my brain though, kind of sees this nightmarish worst like scenario, I guess, where we're paying out to loads of publishers for similar services and access, and they keep holding more stuff back behind these services, and then Ubisoft say, "Hey, we like copying stuff that EA does, so let's put a load of stuff on UPlay subscriptions, yay!"
Oh,
They
die,
must not.
kill it
Mhm.
with fire.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the day when Ubisoft comes out and just causes everyone around the internet to stand up and slowly clap, and they say, "We admit Uplay was crap, and now we're in this not. It's just not. We're not doing it now."
That'd be nice.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Enjoy that.
I'd relish that. But either way, I think like EA Access is a super interesting idea, and it's priced appropriately for a month. 3.99. That's £4 a month to play a month of Battlefield 4. And I guess I could play some Madden if I wanted to, but I wouldn't because why?
Do you
But
know what? Actually, Madden's kind of awesome
mm,
because it takes all the best bits of
mm.
American football and removes all of the adverts.
Yeah, but so does Blood Bowl, and there's also like fantasy stuff.
Blood Bowl's awesome.
Mm.
Frozen. It's no longer Frozen End Zone, is it? It's like Frozen
No, it's something else now.
Cortex.
Yeah, something like that.
Frozen Cortex or something
Yeah, like
equally badass.
Super Bowl feels a lot more now, like a lot more physical as well. Feels a bit more like American football, I guess. A bit less like football now. So you got that as well. But either way, yeah, EA Access, super good idea. Like it'll just be interesting now to see exactly where they go from here.
And it'll be
Now,
interesting as well to see how it affects games with gold and indirectly PlayStation Plus, because Sony are going to have to, after kicking EA out the door, they're going to have to sort of basically keep that on a high level. But it will be interesting to see whether games with gold, whether EA games feature in games with gold, like whether Microsoft just really just stop giving a fuck at all
yeah,
about
but
games with gold.
and whether EA will say exactly whether after Crisis 3 comes to the end of its PS Plus Instant Game Collection tenure, maybe EA will say, well, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. But what we are going to do is we'll definitely put a bunch of our games on PlayStation Now because third-party publishers control the prices, the price tiers. $60 for a day, or like EA Access.
Oh.
But yeah, this is a nightmarish future that might not come to pass because, as we know, EA are well known for making consumer-friendly business decisions. Let's try that again. EA are just super. EA are EA, but do you know what? I think they've got a new guy in charge. I was going to say actually no, Andrew Wilson. I want to believe that Andrew Wilson was a breath of fresh air, but he turned up to E3 with nothing to show, wearing a suit that make him look like a vampire lizard. So I don't know. Like either way,
he looked like the smoothest villain, like a designer villain.
he looked like. Do you know what? If they ever made a Fifth Element sequel, he
Yeah.
would be like the like villain in that. I feel right. It's like John Paul Gaultier, whoever it was. Who was it designed the stuff for Fifth Element? It was Gaultier, wasn't it?
Versace.
It was Versace. Or was it Versace? Either way, like it feels like he has the same tailor. It's like Zorn. So anyway, like
That's a great film.
that I know, right? And you know, I'm really glad that doesn't have a sequel.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those films. Every time it's on, I watch it. Like no matter how far through, like if it's on TV and even if it's on one of the advert channels, and there's only like 45 minutes to go, I turn it on. Invariably, it's that awesome opera scene. You know, the one like the blue
Yeah, I
opera.
do.
That
Combining
one,
like
right.
like stopping a kind of a fantastic sci-fi action film halfway through to do an amazing opera, complete with Ricky Gervais dancing.
Yep,
Like
and also like
amazing.
wicked like electronica breakdown and spliced into footage of a gunfight and a fist fight. It's just
That film
great.
is so good.
It's so good. It's so good, and because it's all physical effects, it's always gonna be so good.
Yep.
Like you're never gonna look back at it and think, "Wow, this film." Well, apart from the fact that Lee Evans is in it, but even he's not that bad in this film. Like it's just really, you know, I just want to go and like watch Fifth Element while playing like my second playthrough of Link Between Worlds in front of it now. Like Zelda
We
and
should
Fifth
probably
Element
go
was
do that.
awesome. Do you know what? Do you know what? I think I will.
Let's go do that.
Let's do that.
Thank you so much for listening, peeps. We'll be back once again with a full complement next weekend. Gearing
Yeah,
up.
something like you're awesome.
Yeah,
We
you're
appreciate you.
awesome.
Something like that. Like a really nice
Definitely
compliment,
handsome.
like a big one.
Yeah,
Mm.
like you're super amazing and so.
And we believe in you.
Yeah.
You're strong, and you can realize your dreams.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can play Zelda in front of Fifth Element.
Yes, you can. Join our clan. Woo.
Nice. Also, yeah, you should totally join our clan
I mean,
for a game that isn't even out and won't be for months.
pretty much. But you can moan about that on the
Wow,
group
Bungie are
wall.
good at this. Wow,
They
wow.
need to
Bungie.
fix that site though, because it's still a bit buggy. And every time I fucking like, they need to just let me just stay signed in for more than 5 minutes.
The game just needs to be out, really.
Yeah,
I
it
wish I was
does.
playing it this summer. I wish it wasn't coming out at Christmas. It would be just like the ultimate summer jam. That
Well,
game.
it's not like we're only going to have to wait about 5 weeks.
Oh, that's true, I suppose.
It's out September 9th, which is
That's true, I
actually
suppose. At least we don't have to wait till October. It's just positioning itself in September to like you get it, and then you're like, well, I would get the other games, but I'm playing through Halo again. I mean, Destiny again.
Halo
I
Destiny.
mean, Destiny. Halo Destiny. That's it. And do you know what? Halo is my bag. That is my bag, baby. I'm so ready for Destiny. I'm well up for it. So yeah, if you're on Xbox One, you can call me your commander, I guess.
Call you maybe.
Call me maybe. Call me maybe. We'll set up a clan. We've already set up a clan. Go join it. I'm sure Matt will put in an annotation or a link or something.
Be a linky link somewhere.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you're listening to this on YouTube,
Should we try and end this podcast properly this time? Because I really did it last time. So should we make a go of it this time? Really, like end it really concisely.
I'm
Do you know what I
trying.
mean? Because otherwise we'll start waffling, and it's podcasting will last forever otherwise. Man.
miss Carl.
He'll be back with us soon.
He'll be back next week where we'll have another Game Buzz dealing with another week of probably relatively slow.
And looking forward to Gamescom.
Looking forward to Gamescom.
B.
It should be a good one this year. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have lots of stuff coming from the show.
We will.
It's gonna be rad. I hate you for bringing Rad back.
I know.
Rad
Rad
back.
Rad
Rad back. Rad back. God damn it! I'm gonna go now because I want to play Zelda.
Brad's
I'm
back.
gonna eat something.
I love that guy.
Rad back. Bye.
Bye. That was one of my favourite podcasts ever. Oh, come on.